What's good? It's your boy Fanon. Sunday evening, last little bit of looking at boxing before, the weekend's over. Not too busy a weekend in the boxing world, but man, I ran into something was funny about Amir Khan. I saw it on an interview, on an article, and on by Niles Duran, and then I actually went to go look at the source video, which was put up by ES News, Ellie Sethback, and ES News, and it was Ellie Sethback asking Amir Khan what he thought about Bob Arum saying that Amir Khan could be next for Terence Bud Crawford. And the look that came across the face of Amir Khan. Amir Khan said, Manny Pacquiao, that's the fight that we're really interested in. We're really interested with Manny Pacquiao. But look, I'm represented by Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn's the one that makes the fight. So hey, whoever Eddie Hearn puts me in front of, then man, he ran away from that Terence Crawford as fast as he could. What's wrong with Terence Crawford? What's wrong with making a fight between Amir Khan and Terence Crawford? I think that would be a terrific fight to watch. It would be very entertaining. Matchroom boxing is about making the big fights, so I'm quite sure they'll be more than happy to put Amir Khan in there with Terence Crawford and see what happens. Amir Khan is the bigger man. He should be the stronger man. He's a world-class fighter. I'm quite sure he'd look real good in there with Terence Bud Crawford. And hey, Terence Crawford is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He's the WBO welterweight champ. So why wouldn't Amir Khan jump on that opportunity? All they have to do is make the argument that because he is ranked in the top, Amir Khan for the WBO is ranked at number 8 at 154 pounds. So that shouldn't be an issue with him getting a shot at the WBO championship. Amir Khan says that he really wants, that he wants to be a champion, and Eddie Hearn makes those big fights. So I'm quite sure, man, I don't understand why he wouldn't jump at the chance to face Terence Crawford, other than the fact that he would get the brakes beaten off of him by Terence Crawford. Man, that was hilarious, man. And actually, man, I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. And it's the shame that it is for what's happening in the WBO at welterweight. Man, that might be just about one of the best fights that he could have for people who are ranked in the WBO. You've got Calton at #1, Kavanaughis, the guy that just had a hard time with Egis Kavanaughis, that just had a hard time with on ESPN last night. What was the name? He fought Abreu, right? Jesse Vargas, Adrian Bronner. Vargas is #3. Adrian Bronner's #4, and it gets pretty slim pickings through the rest of the top 15 in the WBO. So I'm sure that would be a great fight that Terence Crawford would jump on. He doesn't have a mandatory right away. I have a feeling that the guy that he's going to wind up facing next is the same guy that just fought on ESPN, Kavanaughis, because he's fighting on the same network as Terence Crawford, so that should be an easier thing to make. But I think that Amir Khan and Terence Crawford should be a good show. So I don't see why they wouldn't want to make it. Other than the fact that Amir Khan can't win that fight. But Amir Khan, just the look in Amir Khan, man, was pure fear. It was like the bout that we really want Manny Pacquiao. At this point in time, what is Manny Pacquiao going to do for you? Manny Pacquiao might be the WBA regular title, right? He might win the WBA regular title off of Lucas Matisse next Saturday. And Amir Khan is in the top 10 for the WBA. Amir Khan's in the top 10 for the WBA, and he's in the top 10 for the WBC. It just coincidentally enough, he's safe from the IBF because he's not ranked by the IBF with Errol Spence, and he's not ranked by the WBO where there's Terence Crawford. He just happens to be ranked in the organizations that one doesn't have a champion, and the other one has a champion that ain't about to get in the ring for anytime soon. And Keith Thurman, what happened to Kell Brook, man? I mean, what happened to Amir Khan, man? And then as far as this Eddie Hearn thing goes, I just want to make an observation, man. Something is going to be real wrong with this career of Kell Brook and Amir Khan if they don't face one another. Kell Brook just got dropped from the from the WBC rankings. He was number 3 in the WBC at 154 pounds, but my understanding is that he just got dropped from those rankings for something related to VADA testing. I think the reason has to do with, I've heard one report where it said that the fight that is next for Kell Brook would be Kell Brook trying to go for Jaime Munguia for the WBO belt at 154 pounds. And since he's not going to try to face Jermell Charlo in the WBC, then it doesn't make sense for him to enter the WBC WBA clean boxing program. But whatever the case is with the WBC and Kell Brook, look, man, there's really only one fight that Amir Khan should take and Kell Brook should take, and that is Kell Brook, and that's a fight with each other. That's it. Kell Brook, and if they don't fight each other, on top of the ups and downs that those guys have had in their careers, Kell Brook losing to Gennady Golovkin and fracturing his eye socket, and losing to Errol Spence Jr. and fracturing his other orbital bone, and of course Amir Khan, being known as basically as the real life version of Glass Joe on Mike Tyson's Punch Out. The biggest shame in their career is that they won't fight each other, and that's why, man. Shout out to Dwyer Boxing and that great video he did about naming the types of fights that people keep saying are going to happen. This bout's going to happen. It's going to happen. Take your let it wait. Let it build. All those type of conversations, and you wind up with great bouts that never happen. And one of those that actually Dwyer Boxing did not mention is Kell Brook versus Amir Khan. Now, I don't think that that's necessarily a great fight as far as like the United States boxing market, but as far as fights that I'm familiar with that could have happened in the UK, Amir Khan versus Kell Brook are right at the top of the list, because they're both at a certain time were really good fighters. They're both right around the same weight class with one another. They don't like each other, and it's a situation where it could be a really good, entertaining fight as long as Amir Khan stays awake, because it's Glass Eye versus Glass Joe, right? But you wouldn't have known that. You wouldn't have known that if this fight had happened before Amir Khan came over to the United States, or before Kell Brook went and fought Gennady Golovkin. You really wouldn't have known what we now know, and we missed out on that, which should be a great event in boxing. Amir Khan and Kell Brook, if it had happened 5 years ago, 6 years ago, would have been, man, a bout that everybody in boxing would have been looking forward to see. But it never happened, probably because of Amir Khan. Because I have a suspicion Amir Khan knew at the time he had a glass jaw. That's not something that just pops up one day and you figure it out, right? I think was it Breedis Prescott I can't remember who the name of the guy, the first guy to knock out Amir Khan. So he probably knew that he had a little bit of a chin, that he had not a little bit of a chin problem, but a big chin problem. But that fight never happened. So let's see if, the great Eddie Hearn can at least make one fight happen that everybody and their mother knows should happen. The other one, obviously, is Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. But right now, they're going to put that off until it never happens. But this one, Kell Brook versus Amir Khan, should happen now. Because when you look at Amir Khan 5 years ago or 6 years ago, whatever the time frame was before Amir Khan got in the ring, got knocked out by Danny Garcia, you wouldn't have seen him have any hesitancy whatsoever in getting in the ring with Terence Crawford. He would have challenged himself. He would have said, he would have jumped on there and did it. But now he's, he knows what he's made of, man. And what he's made up of is not enough for Terence Crawford. But I'm quite sure Bob Arum would be more than happy to feed Kell Brook to Terence Crawford, who is, in my opinion, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. I'm saying that because I got to say that every time I mention his name and give him his credit, the credit that I believe he deserves, because I'm a big supporter of Errol Spence Jr. as well. And I think that just because you're the pound-for-pound guy in the world don't mean you can beat Errol Spence at the same weight class. You know what I mean? Because, that anyway, I won't go into that argument in this video. But look, I really do wish the best for Amir Khan. He doesn't seem like a bad guy. And, I don't think that this Manny Pacquiao thing is realistic. Manny Pacquiao isn't looking for him. I don't know what Manny Pacquiao is looking for, but I don't think he's looking for Amir Khan. But if he is, he doesn't need. Really, Amir Khan doesn't need to talk to Bob Arum about that, because Manny Pacquiao is his own man. But at this point, because he's promoting a fight with Lucas Matisse that Bob Arum's not involved in over in Malaysia. But anyway, it is what it is. I just thought that was kind of funny that Amir Khan would sound so shook. But at the same time, man, it led me to think, look, Eddie Hearn, make that fight, okay? For all the crap you're pulling and, trying to take over America and all that, the two fighters that you have signed to each other that people might actually be interested in to see fight, make them fight. Put them on DAZN in the United States, Instead of trying to pull this con job over other people's and not make the only 1 or 2 fights that you can make that people are really interested, people are really interested in. You know what I mean? Anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace.